bienvenue and welcome into That Guy's a Maniac, the podcast that gives you unenviable insight into the creators and masterminds behind the second greatest video games website of all time. Whoa.
This sounds like season 1.
Maybe. I don't know. Did we do something different for season 2?
Yeah, we just remember we had that thing with the office, and then this time we were going to discuss Francis crossing the road, got run over. He was looking left and right, but he wasn't looking backwards and forwards.
Are we killing off Francis?
Yeah, depending on if all the Francis episodes have already gone out.
I don't think any of the Francis episodes have gone out. Oh, okay. Well. Cool. That's brilliant. So we've killed him off. Yeah, guys, don't get too attached to the Francis character.
Yeah, spoilers. Francis is not long for this earth. Well, do you have a sponsor?
No. Oh, fuck, I forgot that was the premise. Actually, no. Wait a minute, that's not how this went. I always say the intro. Yeah. Then it's like, take your radio game all time, www. My name is Richie. As ever, I'm always joined by my partner in crime, Farley, aka Kunzi11. Where else can we be found, Farley?
You can find us at www.thatguys.co.uk. You can also find us on all the socials. We're probably in order of activeness after the blog. It's probably at That Guy's a Maniac. Lowercase all one word on Twitter, and then we're also on YouTube, Instagram,
Facebook. I would say Facebook after Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter, Facebook, then Instagram, then a huge jump, and then YouTube.
And then at which point I would say, and do we have a sponsor for today?
Yeah, and I'd say, this week we are sponsored by Arkham Asylum. So the actual asylum, the government-funded institution sponsoring us. Okay, cool. All PR is good PR, and even though, well, I guess they probably have foundations and stuff, right? Yeah, if you want to support the good work and perhaps
I'm going to guess the Bruce Wayne Foundation probably helps them out.
And some much-needed investment in security systems. We've had a lot of escapees recently. Then support the charity that's sponsoring us. I don't know how that works. There's probably some tax loophole.
We're supporting them by saying that they exist.
Yeah, there we go.
People who do fun runs, they're only raising awareness. All we're doing is raising awareness right now.
Yeah, so this is our charity advert spot. Shout outs to Arkham Asylum. Yeah. For all your criminal, mental health needs.
Brilliant. Thanks Arkham Asylum and their benefactors. Okay, cool. It's done. That's an intro done. It's under the belt. Good to go.
I do like our original intros.
But
who would have thought that would ever be a sentence that came out of my mouth?
But this episode is a special episode, isn't it, Farley?
Apparently so.
Yeah. You want me to elaborate? You don't know?
Let's pretend I don't. Let's pretend we've not discussed this.
Okay, so the end of 2021 is fast approaching, and we are celebrating the new year, 2022. Another year of lockdown and new variants to just trap ourselves in our homes.
Yeah.
More Zoom calls, more WhatsApp meetings, more sitting at a desk and getting lumbar pain.
That's right, Richie. And
Happy New Year.
we thought things were bad when all the celebrities were dying in 2016. It got worse in 2017. 2018 got even worse than that. Who knows what the fuck happened in 2019? And then 2020, 2021 have been a blur. But throughout all of that, video games and the shared love of them have got us through some of the shittiest times for most of us alive right now. And for our New Year's special, we'll be looking back at the year that's passed, some of the things and gaming related things that got us through, but we'd also be looking to the future and some of the things we might be excited for should this planet continue for that long.
Yeah, and its inhabitants. Yeah. Right. Okay. Cool. Well, why don't you kick us off? Because I imagine you probably have more than one game to talk about.
In both looking back and looking forward.
But
yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, in the kind of ever year, or the never year, I guess, that was 2021. There were very few things on the horizon, right? Particularly as it was clear, when we first, all this pandemic stuff first kicked off, it was kind of like, we'll have this for a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks. Not realizing just how long I think this would be around. And so for me, one of the few things because normally, you kind of plan your year around holidays and then like weddings and then your Christmases and your Easter, and we just didn't really have any of that. So actually media releases, including video games, was kind of something to look forward to.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like the past year, I've been excited that like almost every week there's a new Marvel episode of something, whether it's Loki or Hawkeye or the animated one, or, just like, hey, this is really a year of Marvel and things are still happening. That being said, because of Omicron, I'm obviously not going to see Spider-Man, which makes me a little sad inside.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that one at the big screen. I mean, technically, I think you still can. Anyway, so yeah, actually.
I mean, technically you still can, but smartly, you're not gonna.
Yeah, you probably. So looking forward, and I'm going to go for one that's probably the most speculative on my list, because there's virtually nothing about it. It's a game called the Callisto Protocol.
Ooh.
And we don't even know which platforms it's coming to. It's from some of the makers of, I think, Dead Space. And at the moment there's a cinematic trailer, and in true video game website styles, I think 6 wallpapers to download, all of which are screenshots from the cinematic trailer. So the reason why this is on my list is fairly uncontroversial to say, big fan of Dead Space. Both
PUBG?
Let's say PUBG, or not at all PUBG.
Have you ever even played it?
No. Partly because I couldn't really get over the stupid name. It really was that.
Yeah.
And the fact that nobody could give you the elevator pitch.
I played the mobile version of it. Does that count?
Oh, Christ. That's probably the worst way to play that kind of game, mate.
I played it. The first match, I won. So I decided that I was king of PUBG and just left it.
Yeah, retire on top and undefeated.
Yeah, exactly.
One game, one win.
One game, one win. And to be fair, I was playing it rather unfairly on the Razer gaming phone. So I actually had the cool trigger buttons and everything.
Okay,
Blatantly just trounced everyone. Got a number 1. Right, okay, retiring, never playing this again.
Very good. So the Callisto Protocol, watch the video now, and that's all we know about it, I think.
Yeah.
The cinematic video, whatever it's been called, very generic. There's a man in a space prison. The lights are flashing. There's a space robot that's kind of stuck in a rut, and then he kind of says to his prison mate, "Hey, get up." And then his prison mate isn't his prison mate, and then there's the classic Ripley Aliens shot with dribble coming from his not prison mate alien thing. Then it cuts to a man guiding a spaceship in. So that's all we've got. But like I say, big Dead Space fan. Have loved playing Alien Isolation this year, which kind of filled that scratch that itch that scratch.
Itch that scratch.
Itch that scratch for your kind of survival horror on a space station type thing. So Yeah, Callisto Protocol. Assuming it comes out on something I can play on.
Yeah, not mobile.
Yeah. It very much looks like a PC game, I'm going to say.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Callisto Protocol.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to?
Well, I want to give a quick honourable mention to...
Forwards or backwards?
In the middle. Like, straight up in the middle.
Wow. Present.
Kind of, yeah.
Good premise for a Christmas Carol episode.
At the point of this episode going out, Final Fantasy VII Remake will have come out on the PC, which means that I am going to finally get around to actually playing it, as promised on the bog. On the bog.
On the bog. President of Square Enix live from the toilet.
Yeah. As promised on the blog podcast, like whichever episode, many episodes ago, that eventually, when it comes out on the PC, I will play it. This was a Ninja release, under the radar. Yeah,
and there's been a bit of controversy around it because it's extremely expensive.
It's extremely expensive.
Yes.
So I have not heard this news. What the fuck?
I saw some people complaining that it was like $70.
What the cock? Right, I haven't even seen any Oh yeah, it is on the Epic Store at $69. $69.99.
Is that also in pounds?
In pounds, that'll probably end up being $59.99.
70 quid? See here.
Really? It's going to have the same price? Oh man, that's a bit of an ask, especially since I haven't actually checked if my computer can even run it. I imagine it would, but
yeah, you'd hope for a PS4 game essentially.
Yeah. I mean, PC is gonna be running way better than any PS4 or PS5 will, but yeah. Okay, well, that dampener aside, that's one that I'm potentially looking forward to. But of course, it's actually coming out in 2021. So I don't know, where does that fall in your list? I'm just saying current. Yeah.
Well, I don't think it'll actually be playable until 2022, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point. Yeah, hang about for the first 3 months. Don't play it.
Yeah.
Wait for everything, and then wait for all of the nude mods to come out as well.
Yeah. It'll be a shit show, and then either patches and all the modders will have it properly working sometime in the new year.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I'm inclined to think that that's the case, just because, as you mentioned, of the kind of Ninja announcement, might be because they wanted to squeeze it out for the holiday period. But yeah, it kind of seems crazy to. I mean, okay, it's already out.
Who buys their kid a digital copy of a game? You know.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think it's not necessarily, actually for people to buy it as a present for Christmas. I think it's people thinking, like, I've got a bit of time off, time to treat myself.
Yeah, when you go to the supermarket, you see these gift tags, the redeemable tokens for like time on Final Fantasy, or you get time for or cash for Steam. Like, I could understand if that was the thing that you could cash in, but this is the Epic Store. I don't think I've ever seen an Epic Store gift card.
No.
Yeah.
No, me neither.
I'm a little I don't know.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Do you know what I mean? Because it's on PC, it doesn't feel, and this weird, hey, it's out next week announcement doesn't fill me with confidence that it's
it doesn't either.
And particularly with your Kingdom Hearts experience fresh in our minds.
Oh god.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, and were we able to be able to hang out again it'd be a great one to just sit and play through together.
Yeah.
Also, weirdly, considering we were both very excited about it, we played the demo together one of those few times before lockdowns and stuff. Really enjoyed it, and then I've managed to keep myself completely unspoiled.
Well, apart from the big spoilers that I gave you on the podcast as well.
Yeah, but even then I've sort of forgotten those.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to remind you?
No, not really. I don't know. I don't know if the soundtrack's out because I would love to listen to that.
No, I'm sure it is actually. I'm sure that is part of some deluxe box set that you can get for the PS5. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sure you can find it some other places on the internet.
Yarr.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, maybe Square Enix is a grown-up company for adults, but I wouldn't mind. I always associate availability of video game soundtracks with what they do with the Pokemon games, which is release them on Apple only 5 years after the games come out.
That was really nice of them, yeah.
I know, but if you made it easy for me, if I could just pop onto one of your, well-known stores, buy the MP3s, I would. Otherwise, I have to turn to the old.
Yeah, or genuinely even buy a physical copy as well.
Well, yeah, that'd be the dream, but that's like some kind of Luddite request these days. Oh, do you know what? I bet it's on a fucking £120 bright blue vinyl, 17 bright blue vinyls.
Yeah, that you're never even going to take out of the case.
Yeah, just give me the CDs, man.
Yeah,
CDs.
Yeah.
Okay. Look. I'll have a look.
Well, this was supposed to be an honourable mention, not a big section. But we're good at waffling, so
there we go.
Yeah, it's Final Fantasy VII is a game that I might want to play in 2022.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Should we go back?
Yeah, let's go back.
Okay, one of the things I'm thankful for.
Oh my god.
This year is Games Master.
Oh, okay.
So they announced that Games Master was coming back.
Who's the host again?
Rob Florence.
Oh yeah.
Florence, yeah.
Rab Florence.
Well, he goes by Robert Florence.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Rab Florence. So yeah, I didn't have high hopes for it. It's out on E4. There's only 3 episodes, which is a shame. So I think they're very cautious.
I mean, I didn't even know it was out. This is news to me.
Yeah, it was out last month.
Wow. Okay.
And it's great.
Is it?
It is
good.
Yeah, it's great. It's a sweet spot of nostalgia. So they don't pretend that the previous Games Masters didn't exist. There's people and things from the previous Games Masters. But it's a bit updated. Yeah.
Games Master himself, obviously Patrick Moore is no longer with us.
It's true.
So who has filled in the big head role?
Well, I don't want to spoil it. But let's just say it's a very good replacement.
Very good replacement.
Yeah. In fact, I don't think you can get a more perfect one. And instead of sticking to the kind of what they did in the 90s, it's just really great to see they've kind of taken some of the good bits and then modernized it. So you've got various streamers, none of which you and I have ever heard of, making an appearance, doing these challenges. The challenges they will have to do are very fun. Rab Florence, there's a nuggets of kind of Consolvania that come through in various VTs that he does. They've got great Ty Logan and Frankie Ward, who are the other co-hosts, who do a great job at shoutcasting and doing silly things.
Is Games Master Dominic Diamond?
No.
Oh, because that would be perfect. That would be like Doctor Who Regeneration. Has Dominic Diamond made any appearance on this show?
Well, not in the. There's only 3 episodes. I think that's it.
Okay.
So hopefully there'll be more. But yeah, there's also there's some kind of tongue-in-cheeks and winks to some of the awkwardness around gaming, but actually it's quite, on the whole, like quite positive, and it's really great to see gamers of all sorts coming along to do challenges as well as present it. So it's not just the straight white sausage fest that it was back in the 90s.
Good.
Yeah. And genuinely just all the better for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that's great. So that's something that I enjoyed from this year. And who knows, if we're good boys and girls, maybe E4 will commission a proper series of it.
Yeah. Although I'm a little bit annoyed at you. I can't believe we were bringing in other media as well. I never even thought to think about TV. Thought to think.
Well, that's your problem.
Yeah, I never even thought to think.
Never even thought to think.
Yep. I'm that kind of guy.
Particularly good, and again, this is very much a Pennsylvania skit, is each episode has a section called Educating, I think it's called Educating Grado, which is brilliant.
Okay, I'm definitely going to watch that. That should be a bit of fun over the holidays. Not to date this episode.
Well, we have to talk about the new year. I think it's all on YouTube, and it's also on all 4.
Cool. Awesome. Excellent.
Yeah.
Right.
What are you looking
back at? I mean, let's just get out of the way.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a game called World of Warcraft?
Pantsu Hunter. Oh.
Pantsu Hunter?
Yeah.
Was that 98?
Pantsu Hunter 2?
Or Valeria 10?
I think last time you were in my house and we were pissing around on the Switch, you added Pantsu Hunter back to the 90s to my Switch wish list. and so every time it comes up for sale, I get an email saying, a game on your wish list is on sale. And I'm like, oh, what's that? And then it's Pantsu Hunter back to the 90s.
But you don't take it off. Oh, that works on 2 levels.
Yeah. Well, no, it's never cheap enough. I mean, it gets heavily discounted, don't get me wrong. But it's never cheap enough.
Never cheap enough. No. But you were the one who was talking about it like being a valid potential game. And then I think we talked about it on this show, and it was kind of like, yeah, but you do realise that it's just like a censored version of a nudie game, you know? And there's lots of that sort of stuff out there, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with Pantsu Hunter.
You don't?
Back to the 90s, no.
Despite the constant notifications.
Yeah, despite being on my wish list. I mean, if I die... if Anna and I... Oh.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, if we all die in a fire and the police are just going through for some reason my Switch wish list.
Yeah. I'm sure they will think no higher nor lower of you. Don't worry about it. It's okay. You've justified it on this podcast, which the police, for some reason, because they're scouring through your Switch, I'm sure they're going to listen to every podcast too. Yeah.
To shout outs to, I don't know, whatever lowest ranking police person is on episode whatever we're on.
Why are we talking about this fucking Pantsu Hunter?
You said you were looking forward to it or back to it. What are you doing?
Talking about World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah, okay, go on.
Right, and we're done. It's fine. I played it. I was very good last year. Last year they brought out TBC, and last year I also completed everything in Vanilla WoW, and I got the full tier 3 and did the final bosses and Yay! And then I decided to be a warlock, and I'm still playing as a warlock. And next year I'll be playing as a warlock.
The end.
The end.
Well, Richie, that wasn't really a show and tell, and I've told you before you can't talk about World of Warcraft.
Don't touch me there.
Okay, shout out to World of Warcraft. Although, do we have an official stance on Blizzard? Are we still supporting Blizzard?
Oh God, do we want to talk about that in this show? Are we those people?
We need to have a stance.
So, the actions that occurred within Blizzard are absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah.
And the change that is happening is currently not happening at a good enough pace. However, the individuals that are still there, or indeed are still working there, are not necessarily embroiled in this, and there is a greater amount of diversity. So, despite the current CEO being a bit of an arse, there is definitely people who are trying to get him out. Also, having worked in the games industry, I know how little influence the CEO actually has on any of the actual art and creativeness that comes out of there. And also because I'm playing a game from 15 years ago, which they are still updating. They're currently adding a little bit of wokeness, a very, very token amount of wokeness. But it does seem like they are going in the right direction.
And also they're trying to unionize, so good luck on that, guys.
Yeah, no, definitely. If they manage to unionize the games industry, that would be amazing, because I'm sure if people aren't aware how terrible the conditions are in the games industry, because they refuse to give up the possibility of crunch time, which is just wrong. That's a thing. But also, where there is controversy, I really, really doubt that controversy does not exist in every single other company. I am still sending my 15 quid a month to Blizzard to continue to play this platform, this game that they have. But it's not without a little bit of guilt as well in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I doubt anybody's money is clean when they play any video games. It's just this is more knowledgeable. Also, part of me doesn't want to quit because you know, scratch that itch and addict. But partly because I want to get to the end of TBC, and then I've already kind of decided that is where I'm stopping with this as well.
We've had this before.
Yeah. No. Look, but I have no real desire to play Wrath of the Lich King again.
Okay. We'll see how that goes. We'll put a pin in that.
Put a pin in that one. That's fine. To be honest, I want to see the final boss character down, and I might just even stop then and there. And then we can hold hands and go and start playing Final Fantasy XIV together.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or one of those Final Fantasy VII iOS squad-based shooters.
Oh my god. I've got a Final Fantasy VII game on my mobile phone, not the actual Final Fantasy VII, but it's like Persona Soldier or something like it's called. Do you know of this game?
Yeah, there's another one as well that's coming out next year. Can't remember what it's called. Some strange Final Fantasy VII vehicle. It's like, do you remember when they did this before with Dirge of Cerberus and one of the other ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you didn't need to do that. Just
Yeah. No need for it.
yeah, there's no need for, you know, a Final Fantasy VII iOS game spin-off. But yeah, Square Enix like to produce these things.
Yeah. Nothing anybody asked for.
Yeah, it was that Vincent one, wasn't there?
Yeah. That was Dirge of Cerberus.
Dirge of Cerberus. Crisis Core.
Yeah.
G-Bike. I don't even remember that.
Is Crisis Core the Zack one?
Crisis Core, the action replay one. G-Bike. G-Bike, some biking game. And then
Air Guys.
Then we've got The First Soldier
Yeah.
and Ever Crisis.
Okay.
Coming out in 2021, 2022.
Okay, cool. Meh.
Yeah.
How did we get back to Final Fantasy again?
Everything always goes back to Final Fantasy VII. Not even Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. Right, so, yeah, World of Warcraft's a thing. What are you looking back or forward to, Farley?
Another quick one, he says, I'm looking forward to, mentioned on the podcast before, is Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp.
Reboot Camp.
Yeah.
Wow.
Get it?
Okay.
Because it's a reboot. Boot camp's an army thing.
Oh, I get it. It took a while. That was a slow burner. Yeah.
So again, super hot, controversial takes from the That Guy's a Maniac podcast. I like Advance Wars. Dual Strike got me through some tough times when I was in deepest, darkest Africa, and all I had to entertain me was Advance Wars, which filled the evenings. So I'm quite excited for this. Little bit. We've not seen a huge amount of it at the moment, and in fact, I don't think it even has a release date. But everyone's initial reaction, I think it was from a Nintendo Direct, was like, "Ooh, you've
son of a bitch, I'm in." Yeah.
You've played with the pixel charm of the original one, and perhaps it won't. Perhaps it will lose something if it's a little bit more sharp edges and less cartoony. But yeah, would be great to have a go. Hope there's a demo at least. Some more Advance Wars, yeah.
Okay.
Advance Wars 1 and 2.
Advance Wars. There we go.
Reboot Camp. Very
Cool.
difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
So a game I was playing was Diablo 2.
Yes, that's true.
And I played it. It was Diablo 2, but again, it was the remastered one, so it was all pretty. I enjoyed it for a short while. And I own it, and I don't resent owning it. Again, it's probably more money that I've given to Blizzard, and my flaky wordy stance still stands. Mm-hmm. That being said, I played it for a little bit. I don't think I'm going to come back and play it particularly much. I might pick it up again, but yeah, it's a thing. I think where it came out and I was like, oh my god, this is 9 out of 10, this is amazing, get to play it again, or however much I rated it, 9 Deckard Canes out of a Tristram or whatever. But yeah, I think I put it down. I mean, I don't know if I would lower the score, but it's definitely not as engrossing to come back to that game.
Yeah, see, I think we were talking about this. In a world where Diablo 3 doesn't exist, which is when you used to replay Diablo 2, right? Before Diablo 3 came out, it was like, oh, Diablo 2 is fun, isn't it? Put it on, play all the way through it. Loot, teleport, armor, teleport, loot, teleport, armor, boss. Wasn't that fun? but Diablo 3 does exist, which, aside from the nostalgia kick, there's very little reason to go through Diablo 2 again.
No, so like this is the sad truth of it all is Diablo 3, as much shit as it gets, is actually more fun to come back and play. So coming back and doing those seasons where, you know, they fucked about with something and you go back and you play through, you get your character up to 70, you find some new way of playing it because you've got this new power up that makes you, you know, play the game or look at the game in a different way. And you're like, yay, Diablo 3. And then you stop playing because you don't care about leaderboards, or if you're me, you don't care about leaderboards. Hey, there we go. Done. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I got my fix, scratched that itch of picking upping and hitting things and
we are sponsored by itch scratching this week.
Yeah, clearly itchy tasty. Yeah. How cool is that in the Resident Evil trailer where you actually see itchy tasty written in the mirror?
I know. We've got mixed feelings about the Resident Evil trailer. Did we talk about this on the podcast? Who knows?
We haven't, no.
Okay, so leaving Diablo completely aside for 1 second.
Fucking ADD.
ADHD. Capcom have found yet more money to plow into yet another Resident Evil live action spin-off thing that no one really needed. Is it called Welcome to Raccoon City? Return to Raccoon City? Welcome to Raccoon City?
Something. Something along those lines.
Yeah. And Welcome to Raccoon City, I think. And the trailer is a bit strange in that it's a bunch of actors you vaguely might remember from something else, but like the Mila Jovovich vehicles, there's nods to various bits from Resident Evil.
I mean, there's 2. Not just nods, there's so much going on. So you've got Claire, you've got Chris, and you've got Leon in this film, which is like characters you care about. But they're in the mansion, they're also in the police station. They've recreated the truck thing at the start of Resident Evil 2. So I mean, it looks muddled. I am very confused by this trailer. But there's nothing in the world that's going to stop me watching it.
Because Lisa Travers is also in it. Did you see her for 2 seconds?
I don't even know who Lisa Travers is. I've never played that remake.
Okay.
I'm a bit of a purist in that fashion.
Any purist, the best, one of the best ones.
Not at all. It's a remake.
It's really good.
I've told you why. I walked in and there was a door in the wrong place, and like, fuck this game.
You should do it. Maybe you should do it in the run up to Welcome to Raccoon City.
Yeah.
However, there is a bit in the trailer, at least, and I think that's the worrying thing about the trailer is the whole film going to be like this, or have you cut out every single, that is a compilation of all the references to the game squeezed into a trailer, and in between all those bits, when you go and see the film for reals, it's just going to be generic, boring.
I don't know. There has to be, like, there were scenes in the police station, underground car park, and I think there has to be like nods as to why they got there. And you got William Birkin, you got somebody else on the inside, you got Hunk there as well. So it looks like it must be true. But in all honesty, when I looked at that trailer, I was just like, this seems like too much stuff to happen in an hour and a half. This is either like a mini series, you know, that's supposed to continue ongoing, or it's a 4-hour film. But I'm pretty sure it's only going to be an hour and a half, and unsatisfactory.
It's going to move at a silly pace. However, in the trailer there is you see itchy tasty written on a mirror,
which I was like,
very
ooh.
Nice. Hat tip. And that's why we are so itchy and scratchy this week.
Itchy and scratchy. Now we're going into The Simpsons.
fuck the Simpsons. Do you know I hate the Simpsons? I hate people who say, "Oh, look, that Simpsons episode."
Okay. Well, fuck you too.
But the game where you knock the hats off is good.
The game where you knock the hats off is good.
Yeah.
Oh, the Bart versus Space Monkey. Yeah. I have not forgotten that we definitely need to do that as a co-op.
Yeah, but that's the pinnacle. Much like your PUBG career, that was the pinnacle of the Simpsons, and then it just went downhill after that.
I don't mind the Simpsons. I gave up. I can solidly say that I've seen every episode of the Simpsons up until season 28. 28 seasons.
How many episodes are there per season?
It's half a year, so 24.
Oh, Christ.
20 to 24 episodes, yeah.
Okay.
Because they yeah. Anyway, yeah, watched that, and I gave up. I used to like watching the Halloween episodes around Halloween because, like, the older ones were a bit creepy and quite cool, and then it's flogging a dead horse.
Yeah.
Not even beating it, flogging a dead horse. And I just, yeah.
So Diablo 2.
Yeah, it's a game. I played it. What have you been playing? Or what are you looking forward to?
Let's look back. Also this year, actually something that just scraped in this year was playing What Remains of Edith Finch. It was a mad mental minty heat sale.
Mad mental minty heat.
In January. And I picked up all of those games which everyone said were very good that I never played before, like Gone Home, Gris, and What Remains of Edith Finch.
Yeah.
And played them whilst I was on my own at Christmas because that happened. And that game is as great as everybody says it is, and it's one that I think about a lot, which is rare.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Have you played it?
Of course not.
It is really good, dude.
I know. I bought Grease on your recommendation.
That's also really good.
Sitting there. One day.
Do it. Yeah. Maybe that could be you're looking forward to, either Gris or What Remains of Edith Finch.
No, that's not what this podcast's about. This podcast's about what
that's
we're
your New
looking
Year's
forward to,
resolution.
new games.
That's your New Year's resolution.
You cannot make a New Year's resolution for me.
Your New Year's resolution is you're playing either What Remains of Edith Finch or Resident Evil Revelations.
There's a Resident Evil Revelations?
Instead of fucking playing the same 2 Blizzard games over and over again. So, hey, you can support some indie developers. Or the bad men at Blizzard. And you're like, I could do a couple 1,000 hours for Blizzard.
I'm only 40.
I'm sure I'll find 2 hours for What Remains of Edith Finch at some point. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to say about it now. It was a bit of an indie darling, which I suspect is why you're not playing it, and it was why I didn't play it for a while. So, oh god, everyone's going on with this bloody game.
It's the same with like Undertale. Refuse to play.
Yeah. Yep.
Everybody's saying like, 99%. What the greatest game ever, you know?
Yeah. Cuphead as well, same thing. Ugh.
No, I played Cuphead. I own Cuphead.
But you also own Gris.
Yeah. But I played it not because it was an indie darling. I feel like it's out of the indie darling and straight into the mainstream. But it got made into the mainstream for being so fucking hard, and it is an unforgiving, really hard game. Which I didn't want to persevere at. You ever just like don't want to persevere at a game? Just like, yeah, you know what? I could learn the combos. I could get good at this game, but I don't wanna.
Yeah. Every iteration of Ghosts and Goblins, Ghoul and Goblins.
All
a
of
version
it,
of that hidden in Resident Evil Revelations 2.
Revelations 2.
You get to play as Barry.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Barry and of course, because of that's his unlockable outfit and the remake. Yeah.
Download Revelations 2. Ignore the rest. Go into the online lobby and just play the Ghouls and Ghosts and Goblins or whatever it is. That's one of those games which was like, oh yeah, I can kind of see the appeal, but it's too hard.
Yeah, no, not at all.
It's too brutal. It kicks you right back to the beginning, and then you have to dodge the randomly spawning shit that jumps out at you.
Yeah, that's why difficulty modes exist in games, for old cunts like us. Wow, I was throwing the C word in the New Year's episode. There you go, Richie.
Oh my god, and we started playing. But yeah, What Remains of Edith Finch. Look it up, play it. It does some really special stuff with it. Telling
is it a walk 'em up?
It is a walk 'em up.
Okay.
But it really takes you to some really special places, and also it fucks you up as well. Properly.
Yeah, it's good. Like there is a place for walk 'em ups. I didn't like Gone Home.
Gone Home. Yeah.
No.
But it's not like that.
I liked Layers of Fear an awful lot.
Yes, you did.
However, did we discuss Layers of Fear too?
We did, yeah.
Okay, great. Didn't like that as much.
Yeah, but it does things that we don't see enough in video games. I think.
Okay,
we've talked about this before.
What Remains of Edith Finch?
All the things you can do in video games, and there are some really well-worn paths, and there are some less worn ones, and that does that. And it also, spoilers, ties into The Unfinished Swan, which is another excellent game, completely different.
Okay.
What are you looking
forward
to?
So I'm going to name a few of the AAAs that I'm looking forward to. And these are ones that I hastily looked at and thought, I didn't know this was coming out.
Well, yeah, this will be interesting because we decided on the premise for the episode, and then my list was really short, and then I started, just sunk right into the middle of the algorithm by typing in most anticipated games of 2021. Who am I? And yeah, there wasn't really a huge amount that wasn't already on my list, so I'll be interested to see what you came up with.
Well, interestingly, for the namesake of our sponsor, there's a potential that Gotham Knights is coming out this next year. I mean, it won't. It definitely won't come out until 2023.
Okay.
But that's a game I'm looking forward to. I love the Arkham Knight games, and this one, you don't have Batman in it anymore, but you got like Nightwing, Robin, and Red Hood, and Batgirl, and all that sort of stuff in it. So that's all we really know.
Is it Rocksteady again?
Yeah, I think it's Rocksteady.
Do they exist?
Warner Brothers, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, if that comes out, I will play it and I will enjoy it. I will not get all of the Riddler trophies, just to put that out there. That's just not happening.
So would you be happy if it was just... it's not really clear, is it? It looks like it's... If it is Rocksteady, it looks like it's just more of the same from the...
Yeah, I would be happy if it was more of the same. Just different gadgets and play about with it. They did something with the second game where you could play as Catwoman. She was a little bit of a clone, so instead of the grappling hook, you used a whip that somehow magically,
Right.
But other than that, it was good fun to play. And you could play as Nightwing as well, and you could play as Robin in the asymmetrical multiplayer thing that was put into Arkham Origins as well. So it wasn't terrible.
No. And it looks like it's coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and PC.
Yep. Yeah. No, look, I would be happy to play it. It's a game that is not necessarily like the forefront of my radar, but is because I've enjoyed every other Batman Arkham game. I think I would happily enjoy and play that.
Nice.
Similarly, there is a Suicide Squad one as well.
Oh, really? Also from WB Games?
I don't know. So I tried to get more information on this, and there doesn't seem to be much about it. So I'm going to say that it is from WB Games, but I doubt it's going to play in the same fashion as the other ones, the Arkham trilogy. But again, like,
Kill the Justice League.
Sorry, what? Kill the Justice League. That's it. Yeah.
Suicide Squad. Kill the Justice League.
Yeah. So I'm guessing it's going to be kind of a bit more. Maybe it is going to play like the other ones. I have zero idea. But yeah.
Also Rocksteady. So
DC games are good. We've had this discussion before. In fact, we have a whole podcast dedicated to it. So
True.
Yeah. And conversely, Marvel games are crap. But suddenly we got this Guardians of the Galaxy ones.
So Gotham Knights isn't Rocksteady.
Okay. But the Suicide Squad one is?
Is, yes.
Okay, then I'm probably more looking forward to the Suicide Squad one then. That sounds more fun.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe WB Games Montreal is spawned out of Rocksteady game. Who knows? I would lose track of these.
Yeah. But no, it's like, yeah. They subcontract a lot of stuff. Yep.
Yeah, you know what these things like. Yeah. Publishers the same. Boring.
Yawn.
Cool. Good spot. Weird that neither of us really knew about these games.
Yep. But yeah, to quickly rattle off another couple ones.
Yeah. That
are not the big main contenders. Dragon Age is apparently getting a new game coming out.
Really?
Dragon Age 4?
Is that a thing, or is that just some
that
Wikipedian
is something that
like,
is
it might come out.
Is pinned for 2022, and again, hot take, it's not going to come out in 2022. I'm pretty sure that's a 2023 or 2024 release, but still, Dragon Age game comes out, I am devouring that bad boy. So nice.
Apparently development began in 2015.
Well, yeah, I mean, the game finished in 2014. You know, what was it called? Inquisition. Yeah.
And I think Mass Effect Andromeda and Anthem probably did not help the development of that game.
Nope.
Grand.
Yeah.
Any more?
Weird one for me, but I'm kind of into it. Do you remember when I played Saints Row?
I do, yeah.
You know the rebooting Saints Row?
I do, yeah. That was one of the few games.
I think this is the first time that's kind of been done.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? When was the last came out?
Probably about a decade ago. Easily.
Yeah. There's a whole generation of
yeah.
games like, what the fuck is Saints Row?
Why not make it a sequel or a prequel? But no, they're just rebooting it. Because it did end up going quite wacky. But
yeah. More so than most other franchises. How can you go back? How can you continue on from fucking alien dildo King of the Galaxy universe type stuff?
Well, yeah, I mean, so in Saints Row 3, which is the one I played and knew nothing about, they are part of the Matrix, because the Saints Row 3 world actually only exists within a Matrix.
Yeah. Then they went to hell, right?
Yeah, so the fourth one is where they go to hell.
Yeah.
And heaven, yeah. And, that one wasn't as fun to play. In fact, I didn't even really get that far in it, but Saints Row 3 was a joy to play. So much fun, so stupid. And it genuinely just felt like you were playing, as in like the dictionary definition of play. You know, like, yeah, this is fun. You know, as opposed to a game where you're really having to like get into flow or whatever. I suppose it's like the equivalent of like mastering a combo in Devil May Cry 5 and thinking, yes, I am really, really good at this. that would be the equivalent of like saying watching a highbrow Godfather film, whereas Saints Row is probably the equivalent of watching Fast and the Furious 4.
Yeah.
You know, it's just blind entertainment for entertainment's sake, and that's it. Is that a good thing? No. Is it a bad thing? No. But it was just fun to play. Anyway, Saints Row reboot. I'm curious enough to probably throw money at it. Put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. What a glorious endorsement. But yeah, those were some highlights of the algorithm searches that I saw. What about you?
So I was surprised Bayonetta 3 wasn't on your list.
See, I haven't managed to play 2.
Okay, fair enough.
Which makes me sad.
Yeah, it's really good.
But there's no medium for me to play it on.
Oh. Really? It's on Switch, no?
I don't think it's on Switch.
It famously is on the Switch, no?
It was on Wii U. And that's why I can't play it, because my fucking disc ground it.
No, there was a special Bayonetta 1 and 2 that came out because Bayonetta 2 was for Nintendo Switch.
No, Bayonetta 2 was definitely on Wii U.
And Switch.
I mean, if it's on Switch, then that's cool.
Yeah, you'll buy the box set and then never play it.
Again. Like, I own Bayonetta 2. Oh, it is for Switch. Yeah, cool. Maybe I could just buy one of the games?
Yeah, unless it's one of those stupid ones where you can only buy 2 together.
Oh, God. But I'm sure, like, that would be cool. I'd dig a Bayonetta.
Okay.
And yeah, Bayonetta 3, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't on my list, but I spotted it and thought that might be one for you.
Does it have motion controls?
No.
No, just controller. Because I really hate that. I really, really hate that. I remember, what's the Travis Touchdown one?
No More Heroes?
Yeah, like, it's a cool fighting mechanic, but then you have to do that thing where you put the two Wiimotes together and you slam them down to do, like, the fight combo finale, and it bugged me because it just doesn't work, you know?
Sure, okay, let's park the waggle rant.
Sorry, yeah, park the waggle rant.
Park the waggle rant. See previous episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
Bayonetta 3, definitely.
Bayonetta. Was it the Wii U version which had all the Link costumes, or was that the Wii version?
Which had the what?
Had all the Nintendo costumes.
What game are we talking about?
Bayonetta.
I think it was the Wii U version. Yeah. You could get Princess Peach and things like that.
Yeah, and
yeah.
Samus and Fuckface.
Fuckface.
Link.
That well-known Nintendo franchise character, Fuckface.
You know, the star of Fuckface 1, 2 and Super Fuckface on the SNES.
Super Fuckface, then there's Super Fuckface 2, but that only came out in Japan. But if you play it on the SNES Mini, they've got a remastered version.
And then there was Fuckface 64, then Fuckface Double Suck on the DS, and then Fuckface Fuck You Fuckface on the Wii U.
Fuck you, Fuckface. But it's a U instead of the U.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, one of my favorite series.
Oh God.
Link is who I was thinking of.
Oh, okay, cool. Yes. So.
Another 3 game that I'm looking forward to is Splatoon 3.
Yes.
Yeah. So as
but
you may
there's
know,
a ton of things on the Switch. But yeah, sorry. Go on. Splatoon 3.
as you may know, the previous 2 Splatoon games, in the final Splatfest of each game, has decided which direction the game after it goes. And so the final Splatfest in Splatoon 2 was Chaos or Order, and Chaos won. And so Splatoon 3 is set in like a Mad Max looking wasteland.
Cool.
So yeah, kind of excited. Excited for that. For sure.
Breath of the Wild 2? You into that one then?
No, not at all. Is that... Do you know when that's due out, or is it just a 2022 generally?
That's a 2022 general thing. I mean, it was originally, I think, last year. It was 2021, but again, nobody believed that. Certainly not with a pandemic either.
I know. I think they just had to drop a fucking Legend of Zelda game, right? And something.
They've got to do something right with this.
Their shares were dropping. It was like, oh, quick. Hey, remember,
everybody liked this game.
Remember fuckface.
Fuck you too.
Yeah, but that game is going to be massive, obviously.
Yep.
And it's very exciting. And forgive me because I don't really know. Do you know it's a complete separate game, right? Rather than like
No, it's a sequel.
an upgrade.
It's a sequel.
Okay, so proper.
So it leads
Right,
off from where the first one ended. And you actually have Zelda as a protagonist in it as well. So
I mean, have there ever been bigger boots to fill than Breath of the Wild?
Like Zelda boots, or
No, just in terms of, that game was surprised everybody, was widely, extremely well received, and you're working on the second one. Fuck, man, what are we gonna do? Make it bigger? Make it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a really high bar for it, I think.
It is a high bar, so I mean, ultimately people just want the same, but a little bit better. But that's probably not going to be enough for a high critic score.
Yeah, exactly, because what's the gimmick? Because in the past it was...
Well, I think the gimmick is you're going to be able to switch between two characters.
Okay, that's the gimmick, rather than, we've got a boat bit, or a flying bit, or something else bit.
Well, I mean, both of which existed in the Breath of the Wild as well.
Did they? Was there cloud levels in Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, so the premise of this is you have to take down mythical sort of animated beasts, and these animated beasts are like robot animated and they're controlled by evil things. And so there's a flying one, there's a camel one.
Alright.
So yeah,
sort of like Shadow of the Colossus, right?
Yes, very Shadow of the Colossus.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I think if you've got two players, maybe it's like Ico meets Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah. Shout out to the Mega 64 bit about that.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Okay.
So I think there's one game that we both need to finish this off with.
We've been dodging around since we started.
Since we're talking N64. N64? Switch.
The remake of Fuckface 64.
Yeah, no.
Coming to Switch.
So we're talking about the Arceus game.
Yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus coming out on the 28th of January, supposedly.
And this is an independent playground or sandbox version of a Pokemon game. It's set in the past, so everything is sort of Edo.
Yeah,
Edo
sort
period.
of. Except you have a phone.
Do you?
Yeah.
I suppose that's the excuse for a few things. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why I'm excited about this, I mean, Pokemon games I'd be getting anyway, but
is Voltorb being grass and electric type?
It's a new Voltorb form. You shout out to the Voltorb fans. Is because we are a month and a half away and still don't really have the shape of what this game is.
Yeah, no, it's completely sort of it's going to be one of these ones that you buy and then you're going to be like, oh, I didn't realise that's what this game is. This is fun, or maybe not.
That's the worry. It is that they're doing their thing, which they've done with previous Pokemon games, which in the hype and the trailers show off various bits. Like, do you remember? It sounds so lame, but we went fucking nuts because there were air battles and you could walk diagonally.
Oh my god, yeah.
And then the game came out and there's like one bit you ever need to walk diagonally, and air battles is 5 static battles that you do and can never do again. And you're like, well, the trailer led me to believe
I know,
these were going to be...
like, that's the thing, and the air battles did nothing except just give you no background, and somebody could make eye contact with you without being on the same piece of ground. In fact, it's a shit mechanic.
It was and so a little bit of me is worried that because from what's been shown so far, it's really schizophrenic. It's like, yes, there's battles and there's also catching, but then there's also bits where you essentially
be sneaking around,
but then there's also bits where you fight a Pokemon like a Dark Souls game, right? So you're rolling around whilst it's trying to hit you. Then there's camps, and then there's also crafting, and then there's also agile style and strong style Pokemon, and then there's also lots of different costumes, and there's also like, wow, what is this?
I mean, actually rolling off the Breath of the Wild, I mean, when it was originally sort of slated, people said it's like a Breath of the Wild Pokemon game. So, like, if it is, that would be very cool. With a survival bit added to it, you know?
Yeah, I think that's slightly misleading. So there's been a lot of, if you follow as I sadly do, if you follow the discourse in the Pokemon community, one of the things people have been arguing over is whether it's an open world game or not. And so some people are like, they've never said it's an open world game, you need to rein in your expectations. And other people are like, oh, it's going to be a great open world game. Parts of it look like Monster Hunter, so I think it's going to be based around that. You have different areas rather than it just being all continuous open world.
Yeah.
And so just kind of excited, and we've talked about this feeling before when you're hyped for a game because you can't see, I think we said under the skirt, which is not what we meant, but that's what we said. You can't see how...
That's a genuine phrase.
It's not. It's not. It's behind, it's behind the curtain.
It's not very woke.
It's behind the curtain and you know it. No. We can't quite see what it's going to be, right? So your imagination creates it, like you said, like some crazy Breath of the Wild game with Pokemon involved.
Yeah.
I don't think it will quite be that.
No, because the bottom line is it's actually going to be a Pokemon game, and that is inevitably going to mean it is going to be kid friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Breath of the Wild was not a kid friendly game at all. It was harrowing. Just dealing with the survival mechanic of it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't think it'll be that. I don't think it'll be that punishing. But who knows? We just don't really know. I mean, there'll be a trickle between now and the end of January. But it's very exciting, and we're getting some new Pokemon forms. I don't know if they'll explain. It's a weird one because it's set in the past to a region we've just visited in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So it's Sinnoh before it was Sinnoh.
Yeah, and also the art style is something we haven't talked about because they're using this sort of wispy painting like art style that you get. Well, I mean, obviously it's like Japanese art, but it's like Okami. They did that as well. So you've got this odd. What's it called? What's the name of the? It begins with Z.
Zen?
The new Pokemon form.
Hisuian.
What?
Hisuian?
Hisuian? No, the black fox dark type that's now become a white fox with the
Zoroark.
Zoroark.
Hisuian. Is it Hisuian Zoroark?
Zoroark and Zoroark. Hirsui. But I don't know what.
So that's like, so instead of Alolan, Galarian, it's
Form.
Hisuian.
Ah,
Hisuian
okay.
is the name of the region, even though it's,
Right. Okay,
but
so
before it
I
was called
missed that
Sinnoh.
entirely. I thought you were
Hisuian,
saying the name of a Pokemon really
No.
strangely. I was like, no, it's Zoroark. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Interestingly, the starters for this one are Rowlet, Cyndaquil, Oshawott,
Okay.
which is your Gen 2, Gen 5, Gen 7 starters.
Yeah. Mix it
Who
up.
you gonna go for?
Right, remind me who they are again.
Rowlet.
Right,
So,
Rowlet, so that ends up
Grassy,
being
Ghosty,
Grassy
Owl.
Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cyndaquil
Cyndaquil just ends up pure fire.
and Oshawott.
Oshawott is fire.
Osh-
Water and ice? They usually do.
Steel. No, it's the Samurott.
Samurott, yeah.
Is it steel?
Well, I mean, it's all based on the sword, so I'm going to say steel, yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of, as others have pointed out, well, with the exception of Typhlosion, and that's just pure water. Samurott is obviously inspired by samurai armor, right, and the swords.
That makes sense.
Rowlet is like
the
an
boar.
archer, yeah, with a, and then there's just fucking angry Typhlosion, which doesn't seem to represent anything.
Was Mount Fuji active in Edo period?
No, not really. Oh, then it's Mount Coronet here, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then Jubilife. What we now know as Jubilife City is Jubilife Village, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
So yeah,
Maybe
really-
there is a volcano in the storyline, which makes Typhlosion justifiable.
yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
'Cause you could have had what's his face? The pig, big pig.
Yeah, because he's got the pattern on him, very, very.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's kind of like
yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of like in samurai films you always have the fat one who just has a iron ball on a stick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could kind of fulfill that role.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But do you reckon their evolved forms will look different?
Ooh.
Like, do you
Okay.
reckon, is Rowlet going to have like a little bit of samurai armor on him?
Oh, that'd be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. What we need is an electric type with a Raiden hat or a rice hat on the go.
Yeah, so who would that Hisuian Raichu?
Yes, perfect.
You
There we go.
can't-
I can't believe
can't-
we have to think about it too much. Done.
Can't ever see his eyes. Always got the Ronin hat down. Yeah.
But with this permanent smile and two red cheeks. He's looking mysterious, but he's always right.
Yeah. Occasionally, we'll throw the hat through a bamboo grove.
Yeah. Slicing down all of the corn.
Yeah, in a nice circle.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, exciting. I mean, to look at it and to look at what we've got from the videos, and something that I think, because I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima, and one of the complaints about it was, hey, this is like Assassin's Creed, but there's not very much to do, because you're just riding across amazing looking vistas, and I think that's part of it, and it's something that I don't know, isn't for some people. I really enjoyed that, and I think actually those periods of you're just riding your horse across a beautiful landscape, and there's cherry blossom blowing around, helps punctuate the bits where there's intense action. And I'm not saying this is likely to be the same, but I think I might be in for something where actually it is a lot of riding around, like you mentioned.
Maybe
the
even
kind of
have
stalking.
the classic samurai moment of where the two look at each other, the two run past each other,
Yeah.
one person falls, you know, but in a Pokemon style sort of thing. Yeah, that
Yeah,
sort of thing.
yeah. Inspired by oh god, there's a move that does that in Sword and Shield. Oh god, what's the move? And that's the animation for it.
Yeah.
Is it drops in a you know, like the
Yeah, I can't remember what one it is. I bet Blood and Samurott has it.
You can use it when one of your, if you send your Pokemon in after one of your party members has been fainted. God, this English is so bad.
Yes.
Retaliate. It's called retaliate.
Retaliate.
So the user gets revenge for a fainted ally. If an ally fainted in the previous turn, this move's power is increased.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but it cuts to...
It's like one of those ones that the dogs get and things like that. Might hate and stuff, yeah.
It cuts to like a red and black background and your Pokemon going past the other, you know, kind of just crossing and going past and slowing down. It's
Cool.
one of the best looking moves in Sword and Shield.
But on that note...
Yeah.
Of I don't know, Pokemon dying by a sword.
Yeah, revenge killing some samurai Pokemon.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that guy's a happy new year.
And a happy old year.
Bite me.
Fuckface.
Fuck you too.